Alright, if you've been following me this far, you know I got a lot of opinions. I guess everybody's learning that, and now I randomly get tagged in people's posts so that you can hear my opinion. This particular post, everybody wants to know, how do you trim a crepe myrtle? Well, first of all, I'm from the Midwest. Crepe myrtles barely grow here. Like, they about die back every year anyways. So the way we trim them here is different from how you will trim them down south. But that said, let's talk about general trimming of any plant. In general, topping a plant or cutting the top of a plant off, just any plant, it's not technically good for a plant. But a lot of plants also technically aren't natural plants. Man made them, and so they grow funky, and they're not probably self-sustainable. They may grow so big, like think of the Bradford pears. They grow so big, at least around here, they'll catch wind and just split in half. Like, the structure on the tree is so poor. Man made it to look perfect, but in all of its perfect look, it's structurally unstable and kind of stinky. So with crepe myrtles, that's kind of the story here. It's one of those, you can't really do it wrong because the damn things are so hardy that you're not going to kill them. If you trim them regularly and you do that coppicing or copeaching, however you want to pronounce it, that type of trim style, which is basically what you did, it's fine. It's a thing. It's a thing they do. Go over to Europe, you'll see it all over the place, and the trees rebound. But you got to have the right climate to do that. You probably aren't going to be able to do that where I live. Like, they pretty much die back, and you cut them back to wherever they're alive. And if you can get it to live and grow tall, I've seen some that are 12, 15 feet around here for a couple of years. And then the big frost, hard winter comes, and they die back. And you cut the suckers back to 3 or 4 feet. And it's a tragedy. But that's how it is here. Okay, that's the transition zone. We got to handle it differently. So I try to generally just cut off the dead on them if I can, but I also try to umbrella them. But it also depends on species, man. You guys got to remember that crepe myrtles come in all shapes and sizes. I mean, the red rockets and the tree shape or sized ones, they're going to be a lot different than like some of the Pokemokes, which is a dwarf, or maybe like a pink velour, which is like a middle of the road size. So there's a lot that goes into this, and a lot of trimming is preference, to be honest. If the tree has the health to handle it, then it's artwork, and you should treat it as such. And in my opinion, what you've done is your art, and I respect that. I think it looks good, and I think it's going to bloom out great. And I guess you passed the test.